Bilal Muhammad, I guess I forgot his name, versus Jack Della Maddalena. Co-main event also featuring Valentina Shevchenko versus Manon Fiorot. So two titles on the line. It's actually a pretty good card. Looking forward to it. It's not terrible for your Canadian card because normally they kind of screw the Canadian fans, to be honest. But let's get right into this card, and we have a brand new matchup. First fight of the night, we've got Daniel Santos 11-2 taking on Zhang Young Lee 11-2. Lee is coming fresh off a knockout, a first round knockout, and Daniel Santos has pulled out of four of his last five fights. That is very alarming. Um, I mean, both are kind of the definition of inconsistent. I think Daniel Santos could win the fight. I mean, he could get decisioned. I think if he loses, it's by decision. And if he wins, it's probably by finish. I think he's a more dangerous guy. He's got that aggressive style. But, like, man, looking at this topology here, like, his last three fights he's pulled out of or have been canceled. I'm sure they're not all pullouts, but still not a good look. The Davy Grant thing was the night before, so that's a bad look. The other ones, I don't know if there were visa issues. I don't know the exact details, but I don't like seeing four out of his last five canceled. Don't know where his head's at. Uh, I'm gonna pick Santos. Not very confident. Don't like losing my first bet of the night, so I don't know that I'd be betting it. But for now, I'm gonna pick Daniel Santos. What do you think?
I think like the striking wise, they're almost the same. If you remember, Jiyoung Lee went like toe to toe with Hader Emil in that fight, and he stood in the pocket and he was willing to throw. So Santos, guys in the pocket, willing to throw. Sometimes he has an issue with that. But you know what? Jiyoung Lee has shown in the past in some fights, mostly against Yi Jia in one of those road to the UFC fights, that he got taken down five times. He won a split decision there. Um, but like Santos has better control on the ground. Does use the wrestling when he's fighting. He beat Castaneda in his last fight. Well, the second last fight, and then he won the one right after that against the guy that's out here, Johnny Munoz. But he held it down a little bit and controlled him there. So I think that's on the table here. So I'm siding with Santos. I think he's going to use his grappling edge.
All right, next fight of the night, we got Modestus Bukauskas versus Jan Cutelaba. Um, the odds are dead even, which kind of makes sense to be honest. It seems like a pick 'em fight on paper to me. I think you got two very clear differences. I mean, this is a classic striker versus grappler to me. Cutelaba is going to want to take him down and choke him out. Modestus is going to want to use his kickboxing to beat him up on the feet. Cutelaba, not the greatest chin. Uh, Tight fight, another tough one. I think as much as I've ripped on Modestus in the past for he's like kind of been low volume, not the greatest IQ. Like I haven't been big on him in the past. He has been looking better. He truly has. Got two finishes in a row now. I think I'd like him to win this fight with the striking and dare I even say possibly get Kutalaba out of there. On the flip side, if you're on Cutelaba, I think you play him by choke. I think that's kind of his win condition. Get the takedown and choke him out. Totally possible. For the pick, I'm going to take Bukauskas. What do you got?
So like he's won his last two fights against Erslan and Aslan, and he has been pushing the wrestling lately, and striking and the chin has looked good. So he's using IQ lately, and I said he was one of the dumbest fighters in all the UFC for IQ before, but he's shown me a little bit of fight IQ and change, and I think he can overwhelm Bukauskas. These are the kind of guys that he beats. He beats these middling guys, and he loses to better guys like the guys he lost to, Felipe Lins, Ryan Spann, and all those other guys like Teixeira and all those guys, I swear they would beat Bukauskas easily. So he's faced a better competition. So and I think he's actually turned a corner. So I'm gonna go with it on Cutelaba, and I hate doing that, but I'm doing it.
Hard to trust him with your money for sure.
Nope, it is.
Next fight of the night, we got Navajo Sterling, 6-0, four knockouts, taking on Ivan Erslan, 14-4. Not a ton to go off of Navajo Sterling. He's a minus 250 favorite. I don't like the odds. I'm going to pick him to win the fight. I mean, he's undefeated and he can crack, obviously, but we don't really know what his ceiling is. We don't really, he hasn't really fought anybody. Give me Sterling, but I don't think I'll be putting any money on it. What do you think?
So that last fight, his first fight in the UFC against Tokus or whatever his name is, the only thing that I saw in that fight that was he got taken down a few times, but he got back up. He showed good striking prowess, showed a good chin, he showed good cardio into the third round, and he's a prospect here. I think Erslan is basically fighting for his job. Lost to young Cutelaba, who I think would probably lose to Navajo Sterling just based on athleticism and just the youth, right? So I think Sterling's got the better striking. He's faster, he's younger, and he's just going to overwhelm him for his first finish in the UFC. So I say he finishes Erslan.
All right, next fight of the night. Surprised it's this early on the card. Actually, we got Jessica Andrade, 26-13, taking on the Canadian hometown girl. We got Jasmine Jasudavicius, 13-3. Obviously, Jessica, power puncher, former champion, a lot of knockouts, fun fighter. I mean, not too many women possess that fight-ending power like Jessica does. But it's been a while since she's really knocked anyone out. Like she's well past her prime. Um, I mean, who was it? Dern. She got Dern pretty good, but
She
other
got
than that,
Dern
like,
pretty
yeah,
good,
yeah,
but yeah.
yeah, that was a good one for sure. But other than that, like, she's not, the feared fighter she once was. At this point, I think it's almost a fight that fighters want to fight her. They want to build a name off of her. And I think that's exactly what Jasmine does here. Now, Jasmine is not a great striker by any means, but she's a dog. Like she's got an attitude. She grinds. She's got that huge wrestling background. And I think that's what she's going to use here to win the fight. I don't think like Jasmine's not necessarily the most dangerous fighter. I don't think she's gonna finish Jessica. Maybe a submission, maybe, but like she's not gonna ground and pound her out or anything like that. But either way, I think she's gonna get the takedowns and submission decision line, something like that. Give me Jasmine. I don't love that she's a minus 300. That seems a little bit wide, but the pick will be Jasmine. What do you think?
Yeah, she's a better wrestler here, and Andrade, she's powerful and all that good stuff. But against good wrestlers, she gets taken down. She got taken down by Tatiana Suarez, who's an A1 wrestler. Blanchfield got her down and subbed her in one takedown. She gets taken down. Jasmine will take one to get the position. She'll take it. She'll take that punch to the face. She'll eat it, and she won't go down like Dern. Um, but the only thing I'm scared of is if she takes too many of these punches to the face trying to get these takedowns, right? How easy are the takedowns going to come early on in the fight? So it's my only hesitation here, but I got Jasmine here. I think she can finish her by submission. I think she should go for the submission if she's on the ground. Take a page out of Aaron Blanchfield's book there and just go straight for it, right? So don't fuck around. Just go grab get that takedown, grab that submission. So yeah, I got Jasmine.
All right, next fight of the night, we got Canadian Mike Malott, 11-1, taking on Charles Radtke, 10-4. Mike Malott is coming in at a minus 225 favorite. Charles Radtke plus 187. I'm hammering this right now. The second I get off this video, I think Charles Radtke is going to fuck Mike Malott up. I think Mike Malott sucks, to be honest. Like, he's not impressive at all. His striking is garbage. If he can get you down, like, he's a big, strong guy, I guess. I mean, he banks on being able to get you down and doing his work on the ground, going for a choke, doing what he does on the ground. And on top of that, he's a notorious gasser. If he can't, like, he's a good hammer. If he can get you down right away and overwhelm you super quickly and beat you in the first round, sure, that's the way he wins. You might as well bet him first round if you're on Mike Malott. After that, he's going to gas and he's going to turn into a punching bag and he's going to get finished. And I think Charles Radtke, with his wrestling background, will be able to keep the fight standing. And I think he's got way more dangerous hands than Mike Malott. So Charles Radtke at plus 187. I am going to hammer that right now. Give me Charles Radtke to fuck Mike Malott up. What do you think?
I was on Radke too. His only loss was to Pretas, and other than that, he's handled everybody else. And Matt Semmelsberger was a wrestler. He handled him before you could even get the wrestling started. Didn't get taken down by Urbina and obviously beat Blood Diamond. People were on him for like taking Blood, just holding him up down the side of the cage and not fighting with him. But honestly, I looked at some other tape from regional scene and stuff like that. Yeah, it's rare that Charles Radke gets taken down. Mike Malott has to use the takedown to control some of the fight. Otherwise, like you said, his striking isn't that good. Charles Radke's got the better striking here for sure. And a lot of Mike Malott's win, aside from the Mickey Gall fight, he takes guys down, subs them, holds them on the ground. That Trevin Giles fight, Trevin just didn't pull the trigger. He should have pulled the trigger a lot more. He got outstruck, but it was such a nominal decision. It was so gross. If you go back in, it's a boring ass fight, right? So he was only 2 rounds to nothing against Neil Magny. He got overwhelmed. I don't even think he gets that far. I don't think he's gonna own Radtke on the feet. So yeah, man, I see a good path to victory here. Stop the takedowns, strike with him, and Radtke should cruise.
Yeah. Next fight of the night, we got Marc-Andre Barrial, 16-9, taking on Bruno Silva, 23-12. We've got Marc-Andre Barrial as the -150 favorite, Bruno Silva plus 125. You know what? This has to be a loser leaves town match in my mind. I think the loser has to be cut here. Um, I'm gonna side with the favorite, with the Canadian, based off volume and gas tank. Bruno Silva has just been so gassed his last few fights. He's just not the same fighter he once was. I mean, he's gonna be live to knock out Marc-Andre early, but if he doesn't get him out of there in like the first round or so, or maybe first round and a half, he will gas out, and Marc-Andre Barrial will pour on the pressure because that's the one thing he does have is he generally puts on a pretty good pace. And it wouldn't even shock me if he finishes Silva just because Silva's exhausted and becomes a punching bag. Not a super confident pick, but I'm going to choose Barrial based off conditioning, basically. What do you think?
Yeah, so you don't have to really get into like the striking stuff. So Mark's not going to stand at range with this guy and like go and stand on the outside and try to strike. What he's doing is trying to make this a dirty ass fight. Zap this guy's gas tank. Maybe pull him up against the cage, hold him, pull him down, sort of thing, right? So Mark wins this all the way around. He's got the skills. He's just sit there because Marc-Andre Barrios can be floored. And if Bruno Silva does one good thing, it's that it's floor guys, right? So it's the puncher's chance against a more well-rounded fighter here. And honestly, there's something screaming at me a Marc-Andre Barrios submission in this fight is just pouring. Something's Bruno Silva loses lots of fights by submission. He should be overwhelmed here. I kid me not, I might sprinkle that when the props come out. But yeah, I like Barrios. Just don't get knocked out, bro.
All right. And the last prelim of the night, we got Brad Katona, 14-4, taking on Bezcat Almakhan, 11-2. Katona plus 150, Almakhan minus 175. I think the pick is that this fight goes to decision. Um, I could see either potentially pulling this out. I can't stand Brad Katona, cannot stand him. So I just, it's against everything in me to pick him. I can't pick him. I'm going to take Bezcat to beat him by decision. But Brad Katona decision wouldn't shock me either. I actually think this fight's going to be incredibly boring. Um, I think they're both going to be pretty decent in the clinch, and it's going to turn into just a kind of a point fight, and that's a typical Brad Katona fight that he's pretty good at actually pulling out of his ass. I think it's going to be fairly competitive. Uh, all the overs, decision. I can't pick Brad Katona because I can't stand watching him fight. But it wouldn't shock me if he wins by decision. Give me Bezcat in what's the worst fight of the night to me.
I want to pick Bargatona pretty badly here, but I was like looking, I mean, you can't base Bezcat's takedown defense on fighting Umar Nurmagomedov on short notice, right? Like, you're talking to one of the best wrestlers in the entire division. I know Brad Katona goes for these takedowns. I think that's his path to victory. On the feet, I think he's an adequate striker, but nothing special. That fight he won against Cody Gibson and what's it called? Fuck, I can't remember. The UFC show fight. You know what I mean. He won that fight against Gibson, and I didn't know. That was a pretty damn close fight. All his fights are pretty damn close because I feel like he's always giving up distance. He's a smaller guy. Um, Pascal looked good on tape going into the Umar fight. I was one of the guys that said that he's not going to get finished. He did hit one good punch on Umar, so I don't know, man. I just don't think Katone can hold anybody down. So I'm not gonna go on that Bezcat fight that he get held down by thing. I'm going on Bezcat, but I wouldn't surprise me if he gets held down for 3 rounds because he I see that happen before.
All right, moving on to the main card. If you haven't already, please like, please subscribe. We do appreciate it. Great first fight for the main card. We got Benoit Saint Denis 13-3 taking on Joel Alvarez 22-3. The odds here we got Saint Denis plus 137 underdog, Alvarez minus 163 favorite. Those odds seem about right. I'm going to be playing Joel Alvarez. I think he's going to finish Benoit Saint Denis. It's very unfortunate. I do like Benoit Saint Denis. He's just on a tough run of fights here. You'd think losing a few in a row here that they'd give the guy a bone or a fight he can win here, but like it's not getting any easier here, unfortunately. Joel Alvarez, fantastic grappling, pretty fucking good striking. I think the only question mark about Joel Alvarez is kind of his durability. It's still kind of questionable if he can be cracked. It's quite kind of up in the air, but like he's dangerous. There's no doubt about it. The guy is a finisher. There's not too many of those at lightweight. This guy finishes all his fucking fights. And I think even if he loses, it's him getting caught. So I think this fight ends in a finish. I think it's going to be a very, very fun, fast-paced fight. Give me Joel Alvarez in a very fun opening fight. And whatever side you're on, I think you choose by finish for the extra value because I don't see this fight going too long. What do you think?
I think Alvarez is a better striker. Denny's shown that he's not a great striker. He's more this power wrestler, get into the ground, use his strength, tap you out kind of guy. Maybe get on top of you, try to pound you out, sort of thing. Now the issue with that is like, yeah, he might be able to power double Joel Alvarez, but Joel Alvarez is not scared to go to the ground. He's won a couple fights getting powered to the ground and then just grabbing a guillotine and just snatching it up. That can happen here. It's not like Benoit doesn't expose himself to many submissions, so. Yeah, I think he's cooked either way because Joel on the ground is just as good. I don't think he can be able to pound him out that quickly. Maybe early on in the first round, it might be a little dicey. But aside, even if he had a staph infection against that Poirier in that fight, he does slow down as fights go. Like this is not a new thing. So like he puts it all into that first round. He slowed down into that Moicano fight and just became a punching bag. So give me Joel Alvarez. Pretty fair odds. I think they're thinking he can get power wrestled, but Joel would welcome to go to the ground, to be honest with you. So
All right. Next fight of the night, we got Jose Aldo 32-9 taking on Ayman Zahabi 12-2. Aldo minus 200 favorite, Zahabi plus 170 underdog. Uh Man, it feels disrespectful to say this because like Jose Aldo's a complete legend. I mean, obviously it's nice just to see these old guys still doing it and still competing and all that. And I have tremendous respect for Jose Aldo, but like his fights are kind of boring these days. Truthfully, they are, and they all kind of look the same. They all kind of look like he's still pretty good. He's still got the skills, but he's low volume, makes the fight too close. And then you're going to a decision, and then you don't know which way he's going to go, and then he's going to complain about it when he doesn't get it. And like, I don't know. I'm just kind of over watching this fight. They all look the exact same. The only fight that he really took was that uh
Martinez.
yeah, Martinez, whatever. That's the only one where like he clearly put a stamp on it. All the other ones, they all look the same. And I fear here it's the same thing. I'm almost positive that this fight goes to decision. And then you're playing with fire. If it's a low volume Jose Aldo and it's going to decision, are the judges going to like him? I don't know. They've already shown multiple times they don't really. And at minus 200, I mean, I'd be more tempted to play the dog by decision based off Aldo's low volume. So I'm going to take Zahabi. I hope Jose Aldo wins. I don't like Ayman Zahabi. Like, I love Jose Aldo. I want Aldo to win, but I don't know. I don't like his fighting style these days, and I'm just not sure that the judges are going to love it either. I don't know. To me, it should be a pick 'em. So I would sprinkle it would be a dogger pass for me. Yep.
My issue with Zahabi is sometimes he doesn't fight enough, but it's not like Jose Aldo's fighting a lot right now too. So it's not making a big deal. I don't think that becomes a big deal now. It's like the striking. Aldo still has the striking, like you said, but it's low volume. And my issue with Zahabi when he first few years ago is that he was low volume. But in his last few fights, and yes, they're sporadically spread out, he has showed good volume. 100 and something on his last fight, then 75 against Javid Basharat, 75 a win, 109 against Munoz. That's enough to win a fight against Jose Aldo. No one's knocking each other out. Aldo might have those leg kicks still, but like you said, he doesn't throw with that ferocity. And I think Zahabi might have the straighter punches. He's going to be quicker. And I think he outvolumes Jose Aldo too, as well. And I think you're getting good odds at plus 170. So yeah, I'm on the Eamon Zahabi side too.
All right. Surprised we're both going against Aldo there. Next fight of the night, we got Alexa Grasso, 16-4-1, former champion, taking on Natalia Silva, 18-5-1. The odds, Alexa Grasso plus 162, Natalia Silva minus 188. Those odds seem right to me. I know that Alexa Grasso is going to have way more fans than Natalia Silva. I get it. You could argue she's probably the better grappler, maybe, if she can get it to the ground. I don't think she's getting this fight to the ground. Natalia Silva has shown pretty good takedown defense. She's got that short, kind of like, yeah, I don't know, that short, low center of gravity, whatever the hell you want to say it. I think she's going to be hard to take down. I don't think she's going to get choked out or anything like that. And I think she's going to do what she does and go, ha, on every fucking strike and be annoying as hell. And I don't like Natalia Silva at all. But I think she outstrikes Alexa Grasso. She does what she does. She frustrates her fighters. She scores the more shots. Like she's a very quick, fast twitch striker, and I think that's what she does here. And yeah, I don't know. The odds seem right to me. I will be on Natalia Silva, and it's not because I'm a fan of her. I just she does what she does, and I think she wins the fight. What do you think?
I think Grasso's the younger person in this fight, isn't she? Yes, she is by 4 years. Grasso's already fought the top of the division. And Natalia Silva, aside from that last fight against Andrade, where she threw the 117 strikes, she's been sort of low volume too as well, man. Like she hasn't been putting her stamp on some of those fights.
She always backs up. She backs up and
Yeah.
throws strike. Like fuck,
So
it
man,
drives me
like
nuts.
I think they're almost the same fighter, and they're almost at the same spot in their career, except Grasso's already been there, and she wants to get back there, and I think she can get back there. And no, I'm not going to buy into this hype of Natalia Silva. She's got to beat the stepping stone to get to where she wants to be. At this point, Grasso is not a gatekeeper. She can't be a gatekeeper at her age. I think she's 31, and then Natalia Silva's a little younger, I think. So she's born 97, so she's 4 years younger. She's 29. Sorry, 27. So she's got to get to where Grasso is. I don't think you got to beat the former champion to get there, and I don't think Grasso's shot yet. She's been there against the best of them. I think her striking is just as good as Silva's. It's like who wants to implement their game plan a little bit better, and I'm gonna go with the more experienced fighter. I'm gonna say that Natalia Silva comes back later on in her career, and I'm gonna go with Grasso. I'm gonna take Grasso in this fight.
All right, there you have it. We're on opposite sides. We'll see who gets that one. And moving on to the co-main event, we got the UFC Flyweight Championship, women's 125 belt. We got Valentina Shevchenko, 24-4-1, taking on Manon Fiorot, 12-1. Let's see what the odds are here. Valentina plus 100 underdog. Manon Fiorot minus 125 hit. Very close to pick 'em. Very close. That seems about right. I am going to be on the dog. I'm going to be on Manon Fiorot. And the reason for that is Valentina isn't the striker. She doesn't strike the way she used to. Like Valentina used to come in, like she came in as a striker. Yes, she had good grappling. She's always had good grappling, but she came in as someone who wanted to throw down, someone who wanted to strike. Something happened a few years ago, and now she wants to only grapple. She doesn't like getting the hit. I mean, nobody likes getting hit, but like she doesn't. It's not what got her to the show. She doesn't like striking anymore. She likes grappling. She's very good at it. But Manon Fiorot is a very big girl. She's very hard to take down. I think she's going to be able to stuff the takedowns. And then this is going to become a striking match. And I think Valentina is going to get frustrated here. I mean, Fiorot's obviously the taller, longer fighter. I know Manon's not like young by any means, and she doesn't even, and she's not very active either. But like nobody wants to fight her really. Like she's just a frustrating fighter. It's what she does. I expect her to frustrate Valentina Shevchenko, and I expect Manon Fiorot to win the belt. Uh, Possibly a decision. I mean, most likely to some kind of over, probably, because it's not like she's some devastating one punch knockout artist. But I do think she'll be a step ahead. I think she stuffs the takedowns and she's gonna outstrike Valentina, sadly. And I'm a huge Valentina fan, a huge Valentina fan. But I'm on Manon. What about you?
I'm the hugest Valentina fan. You know that. I fucking love this chick, but did all the tape study, and the 93% takedown defense holds out. Everyone thought Aaron Blanchfield was going to take down Manon Fiorot. She stopped the takedown. She outstruck her by a lot. Did 172 strikes in a 5-round fight. And if Valentina's not taking down Manon Fiorot, which I don't think she can because she, like you said, she's relying on the wrestling. All her fights lately have been wrestling. All the wins against Grasso or the draws has been because she could wrestle. Um, it's not because she can strike. She can't strike anymore. Not to this volume. So if you're stopping takedowns at a 93% rate and you're throwing 172 strikes in a 5 round fight, you're going to beat Valentina Shevchenko. It's a recipe to beat her, and it hurts me to say that. Like I broke it down, she's going to keep this fight standing the way she did with Aaron Blanfield and just punch her face in. So Manon Ferro and New.
All right, we're on the same side there. And going on to the main event, we got the UFC welterweight championship on the line, men's 170-pound division. We got the champion Belal, remember the name Muhammad, 24-3, taking on Jack Della Maddalena, 17-2. Jack is taking Shavkat's spot because Shavkat is injured, and that's where we are. Belal never looked better. You know, a few years ago, I think the whole world kind of hated him because he was so boring. His fight style hasn't necessarily changed a whole lot, but he's actually just kind of grown on everybody because he just ruins everybody's plans. He pisses Dana White off. He does all kinds of cringy jokes. Like he's grown on me. I think the guy's actually hilarious, to be honest. So Bilal has definitely grown on me. He's going to be looking to take Jack down. He's actually saying that he thinks he can outstrike Jack. Like it's good to see that kind of confidence, and maybe he can. I mean, obviously Bilal is improving at a crazy pace. What he just did to Leon was damn impressive. So, I mean, maybe he can, but I think the clear path would be to take him down and go try to choke him out, something like that. Then conversely, Jack Della Maddalena, obviously very good hands. He's a boxing style fighter. The problem with Jack is number one, he slows down big time. Yes, he has that one third round knockout against Gilbert Burns, but first of all, Gilbert Burns is chinny. Gilbert Burns was winning that fight. And whatever. That's the only time we've really seen his power come through late. I've seen Jack slow down many times in fights and gifted some decisions that are very questionable. So I don't think he has the gas to go 5 rounds personally. I think if you're on the Jack side, it's got to be a Jack knockout because there's no way this guy's the minute winner. He's looking for a big moment. He's looking to end the fight. So if you're on Jack, it's Jack by knockout. And personally, I think this is a fight Bilal should be able to get a finish because I think Jack's been caught in some chokes before, and somehow he's survived them. He's been put in some bad positions on the ground. He's shown he slows down. He's never gone five, or at least as far as I remember, he's never gone five. Um, I don't know. I like Bilal here, and I think there's value on him at minus 250 personally. What do you think?
Bilal's just is really good at mixing everything together. He is an adequate striker, probably could strike with Jack at times in this fight, but then he'll figure out a way to get him back down to the ground. Jack has shown porous takedown defense. He let Gilbert Burns wrestle him down for 7. He let even Basil Hafez take him down for 3. If he didn't gas in that fight, I think he might have been able to use a wrestling heavy game plan and just beat Della Maddalena on a 1 week's notice. So, with that being said, Bilal has also shown a pretty good chin over the years. The last guy to knock him out was Vicente Luque years ago. And yeah, he's been hit hard after that, but he just puts out a really good game plan. I can see him winning anyway here. He's a more well-rounded fighter. He can strike with him for periods in this fight. He can definitely strike with him for periods, but when he feels anything, he's going to drop down and take him down. So, and Jack, unless his takedown defense has changed, Bilal will get maybe not all of his takedowns, but he'll get the majority of them. He'll get at least one every round. Jack might get up and then Bilal push it again. It depends on how Bilal feels. And the problem is Bilal's going to be dictating everything in this fight, right? I don't think he's going to let Jack stay at range. He's going to pressure him from the start. Um, Jack hits him with a check hook or something like that, then yeah, maybe that's the way to beat him. But that's going to be, like you said, that's the only way he beats him. Bilal's going to be on him, pushing him against the cage, popping him, just pressuring him like he does to everybody else. And just, Jack, you said, gases, and I feel like he breaks him. I feel like Bilal finishes this fight. Jack's not going to get, I don't, and I would, Bilal's a decisionator by trade. But Jack looks like after the third round, he's gonna break. He looks like it's about to time. Bilal's that guy that'll break you, right? Because he broke Sean Brady, who's a pretty durable guy, and he didn't even take that guy down. Sean Brady just has ass striking. But anyway, the ball's a pick. Minus 250 seems like a gift at this point. I might just put him and Fiorot together and just hammer.
That's what I'm saying. I thought he'd be like a minus 4 or 500 for sure. And
I'm
I
in.
think kind of the same thing, like you said, him, Fiorot. and throw Charles Radtke in there because I think Charles
Oh,
Radtke's
you're
in
gonna
there.
go for a big one. I'll keep it simple with those two and then add a third one. Maybe I'll add like a sprinkle on a third one. But
But regardless, I got to hit Radtke now before that line moves.
all right, buddy.
All right, guys, there you have it. That's our initial breakdowns for the card. Usually the props come out on like Wednesday, so as soon as the props come out, we will get our favorite bets, parlays, props, all that kind of stuff out for you. So watch out for the next video, and we'll see you soon.